Hi everyone, my name is Carmen Jackson and I'm doing my PechaKucha presentation on the universal skill of sales. And I'm going to start off with a story about my daughter when she was about 4 years old. You might consider her to have been a stubborn or very strong-willed little girl because she liked things her way and she was determined to have it. She was always wanting to dress herself, only she didn't do a very good job at it, and she was always wearing things that did not match at all. So one day we got into her closet and I chose 2 different outfits for her to wear, and I let her choose one of those. And she walked away happy because she had made her own choice, yet I was happy because it was a choice that I had made for her. And that's when I realized that you can actually take your skills in sales from your professional to your personal life, because I had actually used a skill set on my 4-year-old daughter. And anyone can do that because we all have sales abilities. Have you ever tried to convince a friend that you have a different opinion of a subject, or maybe convince your husband it's his time to learn the dishwasher or to feed the baby or to clean up? All of those things are techniques that you use. And so really you're just applying a skill set that you may not have realized that you had in sales over to your personal life. Now, the one thing is building a rapport. And as a salesperson and as a person, it's really important to build rapport with people. You want to sit down with them and talk with them and listen and find a common interest. In sales, we say what, where, how, when. We start with all of those questions to find out about our customers. And honestly, in your personal life, you do the same thing when you're meeting a new neighbor or a new coworker, and you want to find a common ground with them. And that's what sales is about. And honestly, it's about what it's like in personal life as well. You want to find common ground with people. A big part of building rapport is maintaining eye contact. People want to know that they're truly being heard and that you're paying attention. And if you're maintaining eye contact with them, they realize that you are. You're listening, and just really important to maintain that good eye contact in all conversations of life, not just sales, but just when you're meeting people. Now, I know that people think that salespeople are loud and pushy and a lot like a drill sergeant, but actually the best salespeople are quiet 80% of the time. They're letting their customers do the talking, and they're actively listening during that time. They're gathering information to then turn around and ask the right questions. So active listening is important in all areas of your life. If you're not thinking ahead to what you're going to say next and you're actually listening to the person in front of you, you can manage to communicate so much better. And like I said, that applies in personal life and in a sales life. And I love this picture because I really think that listening is so important. People feel like they need to be heard. And that's why we find people talking so much, because they want to be understood. They want someone to care, and they want to be heard. Now, asking the right questions, that's a great tool, and that's what we're going to focus on a lot today. You have to know what questions to ask in order to get the right information, and that applies to both areas of your life, professional and personal. Now, this I put in there because I know there's people that are talking 80% of the time that you really don't want to listen to. Instead, you'd rather be blow drying your hair. But I promise, if you start listening and really thinking about what they're saying and maintaining that information, go back and ask the right questions, it'll work out. So the first question we're going to talk about is a tie-down question. And the tie-down question is a sales technique that is a sentence that demands a positive response at the end. For instance, this would look great in your home, wouldn't it? Or this would look great on you, wouldn't it? Most of the time, people aren't going to say no to those things. The next type of question that we're going to talk about is a porcupine question. And I love this one because it's where you answer a question with a question. For instance, a customer may say, when can you deliver the sofa? And I would turn around and say, when would you like us to deliver the sofa? In essence, you've already closed your sale. In life, it's a great technique because it allows you to see what the other person is thinking without actually having to give a direct response. And so that's a pretty good way of communicating with people because you're learning a lot about them without having to give a whole lot back in the beginning. A date may ask you, where would you like to go to dinner? And you may say, what time is dinner? An involvement question is also very important. You want to get people involved. You want to find out more about them. You want to talk about themselves. We want to get customers and sales to take ownership of the product. So, for instance, I may ask them where would they put their big screen TV in their home, and when they're talking about where they put it, it's a sale, close. And you could also use the same thing with your kids at home. So this is how it applies to personal life. I would ask my kids, okay, where can we store our toys so that they'll be safe, so that they won't accidentally get thrown away or broken? And it encouraged them to pick them up and take them to that safe spot because we involved them in the question. It wasn't of, you have to do this. So another style of question is the alternate advanced question. And using this technique, you're offering two choices that both are positive or both are what you're trying to achieve. This is kind of what I used earlier when I was talking about the example with my daughter, is I actually used an alternate advanced question. And in doing so, I gave her two choices of outfits and she chose one. So it was a win for me, just like it would have been in sales. So today I've talked about several questions and sales techniques that you can use in your professional and your personal life. And I think that using these in your will help you achieve your goals and also help you become successful in life. So I really want to end today with a quote from Mary Kay Ash. She once said that if you treat everyone that you meet as if they had a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important, that you'll be successful in both your professional and your personal life. Thank you.